Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, guys? Sergeant Moose here, back with another Outriders video, and today we're going to be focusing on our Challenge Tier 15 Expedition Devastator build. So I wanted to wait until I felt this build was ready to go, guys, before I posted a video, but now that we're able to solo gold tier 15 expeditions with it and also be very viable on a team in tier 15 expeditions, I feel like it's ready to go. Now, it still needs some improvements. We're obviously looking for some good rolls, but as for now, this build can get it done. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's see what is on this build. So by no means, guys, am I going to sit here and say that this build is god tier. Like, it will just absolutely wreck, annihilate everything. That's not the case. However, a lot of that does come with luck. We're waiting on good god rolls. I have seen some amazing Devastator builds on YouTube. This isn't quite there yet with the best of the best, but I can guarantee you, you will be able to run through Challenge Tier 15 expeditions with this build. So let's jump into the skill tree first, then we'll talk about armor and weapons. So this build's going to focus on three things, guys: anomaly power, bleed effect, and cooldown reduction. As you guys can see there, we're going to bottom tier here. Anomaly power with the reservoir to add anomaly damage. We're going to go seismic cooldown, 4-hour earthquake, which is the massive part of this build. Increase anomaly power by 6%. More anomaly power, the better. Going to come down using protection skills, increase anomaly power by 45% for 10 seconds. That's why we're running Golem. Up top here, reduce protection skills by cooldown. We're running Golem, guys, so we want it to cool down as fast as possible. Pure anomaly, increase resistance piercing by 15%. We're just going to come across with that. Down below, reduce kinetic skills cooldown by 15. That's going to be for our gravity leap. Coming across, anomaly reservoir again, another 6% added to anomaly power. Then we're going to come up top, guys. We have stone circle and extended distance considered to be close range. We don't care about that too much. We just want it so we can move up further. We're going to come up here to increase max health by 10%. Again, we're just going to use it as a bridge. To get to the next one, heirloom armor. When an enemy dies in close range, 20% of your armor will be transferred to you for 10 seconds. Always going to be in the middle of stuff, guys. Going to be getting that health back. Seismic cooldown 15% again. For our earthquake, anomaly reservoir, another 6% for that. And then we're going to come across over here, guys. We have Executioner, increased damage by 20% against enemies below 50% of health. Over here, Anomaly Reservoir again, another 6% added to our Anomaly power. Rejuvenation, increase your skill leech by 6%. We'll go ahead and take it. Increase your armor bonus by 40% of your Anomaly power. Massive for survivability, guys. Increase armor by 20%, resistance by 20% for 10 seconds when your skills end. Increase your resistance piercing by 15% for pure anomaly. And then finally, increase seismic skills base damage by 50%. Massive for our earthquake, guys. So as I mentioned, guys, this build's going to focus on three things, which is anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and adding as much bleed to enemies as possible really fast. So, what's going to help us with that is, of course, Earthquake. That is going to be the #1 skill of this build. We're going to be using it so many times throughout our expeditions. It is ridiculous. So, let's go ahead and see what kind of mods we have and what kind of armor we're running for this build. Alright, guys, let's first talk about our helmet. Of course, we're going to be running Anomaly Power and cooldown reduction with Blood Shock, which inflicts bleed on enemies damaged by the skill of Earthquake, and Second Quake, a Tier 3 mod, which gives us an additional Earthquake before cooldown for a total of 2 Earthquakes. Blood Shock is the #1 mod of this build entirely, guys. Moving on to the chest piece, guys, we're going to have Anomaly Power again, maxed, and cooldown reduction maxed. Earthquake, the skill can be activated one more time before triggering the cooldown. That's the Tier 1 mod, guys, stacked with Tier 3. That gives us 3 Earthquakes before cooldown. And we have Human Comet, Gravity Leap increases the skill's base damage by 129,255. Next up, guys, is our pants. We're going to go ahead and look Anomaly Power and cooldown reduction again, both maxed. We're running Tainted Blood, increases the damage dealt to enemies afflicted with bleed by 25%. Again, monumental mod for this build. And Captain Hunter increases your damage against elites by 25%. Optional if you want, guys, but it helps me out with the captains. I really like this mod. Alright guys, let's take a look at the hands. We have, of course, Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction. Earthquake increases the skill's base damage by 84,001, and we're running Untamed Power. Using skills deals 44,317 damage to enemies within a 5-meter radius around you. The damage is equal to 30% of your Anomaly Power. Last but not least, guys, we have our feat with Anomaly Power and a cooldown reduction again. Now, I'm looking to replace these ones as quick as possible, guys, because both mods on this is optional. Of course, you can see I still have the Impale mod, which does nothing for me because I recently took it off. Also, Phantom Dash. Now, that can be very, very useful to get out of sticky situations, so I may try to keep that. However, not needed. Alright, guys, so let's complete this build. Let's talk about the guns a little bit. I want to talk about this LMG. We're running Armor Pierce, which I like. Also, I went ahead and threw on Weightlessness, Tier 3 mod that lifts enemies up in the air, even bosses, gives you a little bit of room to breathe. Also, it has Death Chains equipped, which is absolutely one of my favorite mods in the game. Does a ton of damage, has a short cooldown. But this weapon is going to be a backup for our next weapon we're going to talk about, which is the Thunderbird. So as you guys can see here, the Thunderbird comes stock with Ultimate Storm Whip. At least I think. I've gotten 2 of them. They both came with Ultimate Storm Whip. Probably, maybe one of the best mods in the game, in my opinion. Every second, this thing is going to drop down lightning on enemies. Also paired with Shadow Comet, which is another insane mod. Brings down a fireball that does AoE damage on enemies around them every 3 seconds. So combined with Ultimate Storm Whip, this thing does tons of damage while you're waiting for your skills to cool down. So there you have it, guys. That is a quick look at our Devastator build. Now, this build's not set in stone. Obviously, guys, there's going to be more stuff we're going to be adding to it, more things I'm looking for. However, this build is capable of gold soloing Challenge Tier 15 expeditions, as well as being very viable on a team with the big guys like the Trickster, Pyromancer, and Technomancer. I would say, on average, depending on the expedition, I can put out roughly in the high 100 millions, and maybe even some 200 million damage with this build on teams, depending on the expedition, of course, but I can guarantee you this will definitely get you through some of the hard stuff on the harder expeditions. So with that said, guys, we're still looking for the Extra Gravity Leap mod, the Tier 3 mod, which will give us another leap before cooldown. I'm still looking for the Seismic Commander outfit, the full armor that'll give us that 50% extra bleed damage, and I think with those boots that I have on in this build, we're going to switch some things out. There is another mod that'll give us an additional 15% to bleed damage on top of our 25 we already have. If we add that Seismic Commander, that's going to give us another 50 for a total of 90% extra damage to enemies affected with bleed. So it's still a work in progress, but it'll definitely get it done now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Outriders content. My name is Sergeant Moose. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.